Hello there, you're watching Bizworld. Malaysia's economy recorded a stronger growth of 4.9% in the second quarter compared with 4.5% in the first quarter of 2019, supported by higher household spending and private investment. Bank Negara Governor Datuk Nur Syamsiah Yunus said all economic sectors expanded and the growth was anchored by the recovery from commodity supply and improved performance in the manufacturing and construction sectors.
On the demand side, growth was supported mainly by the continued expansion in private sector spending. Growth was further lifted by stronger net exports, which reflect a contraction in imports amid sustained export growth. Private consumption growth improved from 7.6% to 7.8% as real income growth of 3.6% continued to trend above its recent average.
Bank Negara also maintained the country's gross domestic product growth between 4.3% and 4.8% this year, which will be supported by private sector activity. Datuk Nur Syamsiah added any new projection on the economy growth will be announced during the Budget 2020 this October.
In August, 30th August, it will be effective in 30th August.
Meanwhile, commenting on the ongoing trade war between the US and China, Datuk Nur Syamsiah said Malaysia has received some positive impact due to escalating trade conflicts.
Which we have seen higher export growth and some of the possible relocation of facilities to Malaysia. But again, this is at very early stage, so we will not be seeing the impact on the GDP either this year or next year. But in terms of the current export products which we are currently producing, we do see there's an increase in export.
Putrajaya is reopening the registration of G1 grade Bumiputra contractors after freezing it for 14 years. According to a joint statement by the Finance Ministry and Economic Affairs Ministry, they would also review the maximum amount of contract value that the G1 contractors can undertake from government projects. It also added that the Cabinet had agreed to the reopening of registration on September 1st, 2019, after a meeting session on August 14th this year. Currently, the government said there are 21,495 G1 grade Bumiputra contractors registered with Construction Industry Development Board, CIDB, of which 70% of which were registered more than 20 years ago. The world's largest manufacturer of gloves, Top Glove Corporation Berhad, is optimistic that its revenue growth for financial year 2020 would be better than the current financial year. The optimism was based on the glove industry demand, which stood at 10% annually.
Glove, we did better over the past 18 years. We grew in terms of sales revenue, compounded annual growth rate was about 22%. In terms of sales revenue, in terms of profit over the past 18 years since our listing in 2001, our compounded annual growth rate of our profit after tax grew about 21%.
Earlier, Top Glove entered into a collaboration with Mr. DIY and WWF Malaysia, graced by Minister of Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change, Yeo Bee Yin. Top Glove targets to donate 30,000 ringgit to WWF Malaysia, accumulated from the 42 sen donated for each sale of its BioGreen TM biodegradable nitrile gloves powder-free. As at August 16, 2019, Top Glove had 41 factories, 36 in Malaysia, 4 in Thailand, 1 in China, with 682 production lines that churn out 63.9 billion pieces of gloves per annum with 18,000 employees. Top Glove currently has over 2,000 customers worldwide and exports to more than 195 countries. That wraps up Bizworld this time around. I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for investing your time with us.